These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
And it is, as you said, those traded neutrals. Ocean Dragon being first, actually a pretty big one. Early Ocean, I'd say one of the most valuable dragons, just has to sustain when you're still in the laning phase.
Yeah.
And also the Soul on the weaker end, and you know you've got a dragon towards that Soul, and it's not going to be Ocean. It's always a nice feeling. Hex Tech, the second one though, obviously a lack of Hex Tech Soul. We'll see. Andal might be in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Glacial Prison goes down. There's the grand entrance, and Andal's going to have to flash the Inspire for the extra movement speed as Leaper comes on over. But he is a long way away from safety. Duro and Raptor don't have a lot of damage, though, and that is going to be a Mantrid Inspire to come in. Closer ulting just to close the gap, and they are not done here. That's First Blood, and it's even worse. The kill goes to Closer. Holding on to that Gromp for the moment. They do have full information here as the snapback on the cube kind of working out as Bulldog. In position, Ward comes over as Duro looking for a bit of an entrance here as Cuz going down relatively low. Clear puts them in a circle with quickness. It comes down. Clear's going to have to exit, but he bounces away from the fight. Bulldog in trouble. Permafrost comes in, but they can't close the gap. The flash over and Clear is going to get the kill, but it's traded immediately back. Dudu is a monster. The turret, not enough to kill him, and now Closer. Can you actually even this one out? That's the question. As Duro, I don't think he's going to quite be able to get him hit. There it is. The Battle Dance going to help out. The knockups everywhere, and Andal is once again in the wrong place.
Yeah, Closer, I think if being able to get to that fight sooner, it would have made so much difference. Just get left behind. But still, Quantum Freaks getting what they wanted from that play.
Yeah, I think BNK not going to be too upset about it either. Just because Clear was denied a back before that one. Grub's going down here as Glacial Prison goes in once again. Duro, that is a great knockup. The pullback from the ulti is in, but Closer just snaps his way out of it. There's going to be 4 Grubs picked up, not wanting to mess with any more. They'll allow Quandong Freaks to have 2, but hitting that 4 mark certainly going to feel good before we get towards the Soul. Should be able to get them pretty close. And also continue the monopoly that they have on these dragons.
And I think, you know, Infernal or Mountain would both be pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's Chemtech.
Yeah,
you were focusing on the Infernal and the Mount, protecting his control ward as True Shot Barrage doing a lot of work. Crowd going nuts at the same time as Raptor already got halfway through this Rift Herald. It feels like a bit of a leash though, as now Dudu goes down so low. Closer still with his ultimate in hand, but that is just going to be Rift Herald secured by Quandong Freaks. And Dudu just traded his health bar and flash for it.
Yeah, and you see immediately Dudu's learn about the One-Time Spike for the Yone got shredded in that extended trade there.
Oh, Bulldog is inside the circle now. The pullback available for Clear, and the Spectral delivery. Closer gets another one, and Quandong Freaks, they notice it. It's a sacrifice from Duro, but he doesn't even need to go down. That's the pullback, though. And there goes the Sejuani. Andal looking for a little more as he gets a bit of damage onto Henna. So a 1-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, BNK FearX, I feel like the jungle bot duo just hanging around mid way too long after they lost the Herald. There was no reason to do so. And now losing mid tier 1 for it, a pretty big hit. You'll see the Yone trade back in the bot side, but I don't think this is a weird trade. Mid tier 1 so influential on the map, and also,
yeah.
Oh, he gets the angle.
Oh, very clean drift work there from Cuz. Going to be able to help lock down the outer turret in top lane as well. So all of that, it was an even trade of kills, but they grabbed the Herald, they grabbed 2 turrets.
You know, already on this Yasuo is potentially going to be a pretty big threat.
Well, Clear is finding another option here as Bulldog not going to be able to get out of this wall, and the bounce away does put Clear away from danger, but also away from his target. Just standing around. There is a mega blast cone that is going to get him to safety thanks to Andal's auto attack. An inner turret in trade for Soul Point for Chemtech Soul. Probably not too bad, as Closer is almost just dead to a True Shot Barrage that flew on through. That could actually get him local gold for this inner turret, which is kind of dope, I guess. And Drake is going to be traded for that inner turret like we were talking about.
Using it in that top play and does survive. It could have been a much more punishing play if he didn't have that one available. The gold, however, we see Clear and Closer, both of them finishing the second item. Shield Bow for the Yone, and that Malignant for the Aurora.
From Dudu. This might be an honest 5v5 between these teams. Henna is fighting just in that front line. Takes a fair bit of damage, is now Clear looking for Bulldog. Man, half health. just from a combo. Presses QE and he almost dies. Raptor tanking this one up. Quantum Freak not actually fully committing yet, but that is a Glacial Prison to come in. The quickness and Grand Entrance combo is massive as Clear. Gets on in there, looks for Andil, and just bounces his way out, and he's straight up dead. It is going to be the soul picked up for Kwandong as well. Cuz quick on that Smite Finger, and that works out beautifully. Dudu, the monster, he finds the Wallop under two, and Kwandong Freaks have been saving up their power for this moment. They wipe B&K off the Rift.
KDF get everything they want and more. The soul's secured, but they get a huge team fight win. Specifically hone in on one thing, but Henna on the Xayah not really able to follow up on a lot of these engages. Something like Azeri or Kai'Sa could help a lot more.
Glacial Prison, Andal, I think he's dead, guys. Yeah, Raptor is going to be able to pick that one up. Baron was not taken.
Yeah, they didn't feel like they had a time after they were so, they led so heavily towards the bot side. They didn't have time to get it down. Bushy doesn't have the sustain. He's still low HP now.
Yeah.
Frozen Bulldog during this. Leaper and Andal move over, but it's going so fast. I'm not sure they'll even get there in time.
Yeah, where's the Scryers? Where's the option here as Nature's Grasp is going to be walked away from? Raptor looking for an option. He finds a Glacial Prison, and Clear gets into that backline. He bounces over. They take down Leaper, but they trade their Aurora for it. Can Closer actually find this team fight? Because Dudu says absolutely not. Clear's still trying to fight this, but his health bar's going down low, and Henna hasn't been touched. He's now going to find a couple of autos, but he just disintegrates. Please do something, Xayah!
Dead right now, but it might as well be. Quantum Freaks have everything they need to win this game.
Yep, I think they signed the docket. You know, the deed has gone over, and Quandong Freaks now kind of own both sides of the map. The Baron stolen away beautifully. Cuz now getting to work on this Elder, and Dudu. Oh, this guy's Gnar has been just phenomenal. He's 2 versus 1 underneath the turret, though. Does he care? The answer's no! He'll just flash on top of him! Duro, a passenger, witnessing the demise of Clear.
And you know, we saw this matchup played, the Aurora versus the Gnar. And we had concerns in the draft.
Yeah.
Came out.
It's incredible. They've got Exodia completed as well. They've got the Soul, the Elder, the Baron. Baron still 1 minute and 16, ticking down 7,000 gold Red Bull Baron power play. My goodness, just I think he can just parade towards the Nexus now. Playoffs. B&K, their road becomes so much harder if they lose this series, but even losing a game in the series means a lot.
Yeah, it can make such a difference when Quantum Freaks has the edge in game score. And they're trying to clear the wave, but their wave play isn't the best. Henna taking a ton of poke, walking up.
Yeah.
It's a rocket, fortunately, but it's getting so dangerous.
Yep, that one's going to land. Glacial Prison does come on through there as Leaper. He goes golden, he bought himself an arm guard. Still he's going to die. They've taken down the Corki as well. Dudu is a legitimate threat, though. He has the power of the dragon behind him. The Wallop comes in. That's a very dead Aurora. And despite the fact that 2 of the carries were just eliminated, I think that Quandong Freaks are still just going to win this game unless Closer can do something absolutely miraculous. The superpowered minions coming in, Closer diving forward once more. But Raptor, I mean, there's a dragon that's going to get real angry with him very, very soon as Dudu goes down to hysterics. And the GA is procced here from Closer. He's still trying to work it out, still trying to figure it out, but the Dragon's Wrath will find him. And Raptor's going to go down, and of course, it's all about Dudu all the time. He doesn't have any minions, but he doesn't care. He goes Mega, and he'll destroy this Nexus.
Even with the Ezreal and Corki going down, Quantum Freaks still have that carry. The Gnar taking over the game again. Yeah, we haven't seen Nautilus have too much success recently. I feel like, you know, a lot of times he's just getting blown up in team fights. It doesn't have the ability of a Rakan to sort of disengage from the situations.
Full clear at 3 minutes here for Cuz, as he's already behind the enemy turret, putting down some Qs, trying to land the slow. We'll be able to get that from the plant, but the Grasping Roots not going to connect. Let's see whether they can actually make something happen here as Duro lit on fire already. Leaper in a bit of trouble, but Duro's burning. He gets the shield, and that is going to be Comet to take him down. First blood goes to Cuz.
Yeah, so looks like, I'm not sure Cuz will really move over to contest. Oh.
Yep, I said Raptor for Dragon. Duro is going to have to get out of here. There's the burn, and Andil's going to get another one. And that's just in the plain 2v2 as, oh, that is a long twisted advance as Raptor is going to be able to push Bulldog back now. Closer Valkyrieing forward. They want to try and find this one. Rockets flying down. Really rough time so far today. Yes, it was a difficult matchup last time around, but I don't think we were quite seeing some of the pizzazz that Duro had when he made his way in. And maybe their last matchup against D+, even though it was close.
That's what you really need.
Oh, that's not a -1 cannon. That is a beautiful cannon take there, as Closer able to Valkyrie away from the dredge line that was coming in to try and punish it. Plant comes on through, and looks like Duro and Closer are going to be able to take that one down. Raptor flashing in immediately. The Stranglethorns goes down though, gets a nice double knock up. The ulti comes in from Bulldog as well, and the rocket is going to miss. Oh, so close there for B&K. Trinity Force, especially able to get work done there too.
If you're able to get those 6 grubs and make some use of them before the plates are gone, that's really where you can benefit. So I think that's what Quantum Freaks are hoping for. Clear's had pressure in the top lane. If you can get some more time on that tower with the Demolish as well, could be big. And they've just given up on bot lane. But now with the Bloodthirster,
Raptor is considering a dive as they get rid of Vision as well. Dudu just going to have to vacate the area. First Turret Blood does go over to Quandong Freaks, and Dudu eats the CC. Will not be able to keep his turret alive. They keep this investment of people towards this top side, though. This could be a lot of damage onto an inner turret at the same time. And Quandong Freaks, they know that. They're going to rotate Cuz and Andil over here. Andil actually thinking about a little bit of a wraparound. Fizzed out, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The Soul situation. But that's okay. Just honest game of League of Legends between two teams.
It's good for B&K FearX. Second time in a row where they give over 2 dragons and get a good weak soul for the other side.
Well, there's an all-out once again as Clear is looking for that Mega. Now he finds it. The wallop connects onto the all-outed Kazante, and now Andil looking to come up and try and punish. Flash still available. Clear not going to be able to use it. Throws the house at Dudu. Max range on the wallop, but he's still just dead because there's another Nautilus. And he is just going to go down. Nicely played here by the Quandong Freaks. Now that Azeri is being piloted instead of that Xayah, which is something that you'd expect that we would say because we were pretty critical of the Xayah last time around. It's Quandong Freaks now looking for a bit of an engage, and that's a max range hook to come out from Andil, but Clear not too worried about it. They kind of like the fact that they started this fight, and there is another option here as Leaper going to get Extendo Beam. Stranglethorns now on cooldown as Bulldog in this bottom lane was split pushing Andil a little bit too far.
Should just kill that mid lane tier 1. Pretty big for B&K FearX to take that one. Oh, it's super close though. I think one burst fire and you're good.
Yeah, Panic goes over, presses Q. Going to be able to grab that one. That is some local gold for the Zeri. And this Drake being started up by Quandong Freaks. Rest of the map not necessarily in the right position for them though, as Clear is on Vision. Bulldog gets rid of him. And now the Nature's Grasp comes in. Andil in a little bit of trouble. The Flash Twisted Advance is going to connect. Bullet Time doing a lot of work, but Cuz is just going to be destroyed. There goes Andil as well. And Raptor, he's done his job. Gorgeously played. Still going to go down, but it doesn't seem to matter as Leaper in the alcove just trying to be avoided by the rest of B&K. Closer almost goes down as Dudu looks for him. That flash was so sexy from Closer. And now Clear just trying to get rid of this. Kazante, he cannot close the gap. It's the first time we've seen it, and Bulldog's even baited in. The Hyper Proc will get it, and Clear. Cool guys don't look at explosions. It's a double kill, and they wipe them off the map. Around the landing of the Gleaming Quills to get that little bit of extra health back for Closer.
It made the difference.
Yeah, absolutely clutch. And that means the B&K are able to grab themselves this third dragon, deny soul point from Quandong Freaks. And this is where things have deviated.
It's funny, he walked back and it's like, wait, did I? Was that?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, there was something tingling. There was something
No.
tingling. You know, you could feel the pixels.
And then he walks, he said, no, I must have imagined it.
Yeah. Actually, no, we judge all the time. But still, maybe we should think twice before we do it. As now Henna has found Leaper. Bullet Time goes down. He gets himself a big old shield, and despite the Stranglethorns, he's still going to be able to grab the kill. Now, both 80 carries are dead. The Nature's Grasp, it flies forward. Andil's trying to get out of there, but Dudu's trying to get in there, and I don't think that that was the right idea. Clear getting towards his Meganar, and I don't think that this fight is going to last any longer.
Maokai peeling off Baron with the ult, definitely very powerful. He can also sustain quite well with his passive off it.
Yep, teleport in from Closer. They know that there could be a potential fight here, but Bulldog doesn't have his teleport. He's in the bottom lane, and he's not going to be available for this team. But this Baron is just gone. Nature's Grasp will say, no, you are not getting in here. And Dudu is once again overextended. He's going to try and get out, able to mitigate the CC. But now there's no frontline available for a potential team fight to come in. Hook is going to connect onto Henna. It's the perfect target. The ulti from Bulldog as he is going to rebind the soul. They take down 2 of the Barons, and Andil is even able to walk it off. How the heck did that happen?
Beautiful hook from Andil, but a critical error from Henna there. Just walks through the brush, not expecting the engage. It all backfires. And now Quantum Freaks, you know, looked really dire, them losing this Baron here.
A bit silly there, coming straight out of the replay as Nature's Grasp coming down once again. Leaper in trouble. The flash forward, the Grand Entrance, and Leaper should just be dead here. The Burst Fire does come on down. We'll see whether Bulldog can actually equalize the trade, but Henna is going to be able to flash away now. Dudu going all out once again, but Clear is just going to hop on over the top and picks up the kill. BNK back on track once again.
Hero coming in, and now BNK Fearax pick up some more kills. They have the Baron in hand on a couple of their members, and they're going to keep pushing in.
Yeah, Closer going to be able to take down an inner turret on the top side while the rest of the team are able to get rid of the mid lane. This should be inhibitor turret at least taking a beating as Bulldog looking to try and defend, does a decent job. Remember, this is 6 grubs, so these turrets just fall like they're made of paper. Game number 1 on the top side of the map. Worked very well, as now Nature's Grasp is going to fly on forward. Clear throwing houses around. There's the flash. No, the ulti from Bulldog does nothing. They take down the turret, and now they're looking to just say goodnight to game number 2. And this Saturday showdown might be going the distance. The ulti comes in from Henna. Their health bars aren't exactly the greatest, but look at Dudu. He is not really a full tank in this game, unfortunately, not when Closer has anything to say about it. They'll take down the inhibitor on the bottom side of the map, and maybe they can just push further forward for even more. Andil trying to hook his way in. The knock-up not going to connect there onto Dudu, as Bulldog going to have to go back to the Unbound Soul. Quantum Freaks not fast enough on this take of the Baron as Duro gets in there. Yeah, the Make It Rain does come down. That is going to deny, but let's see whether Quantum Freaks can keep themselves in this game, whether they can pick up a soul as Nature's Grasp is looking to try and say no. The Stranglethorns comes down though as Raptor avoids the knockup once again. That is going to be the soul picked up, and the jungler is now dead, but Andil is going to go down as well. Dudu is taken from the fight as Henna, the ultimate's going to come through, but the knockup is immediate. The bullet time comes down, and the flash is going to be used just to get out of the way. Leaper is dead, and Cuz, the last man standing. And yes, you may have picked up a soul, but it's going to be traded for your Nexus.
It's a valiant effort from Quantum Freaks, but it's just not enough. The goal deficit too big.
Well, 3 games, these 2 teams so tightly matched. And after what was a bit of a fumble in the draft, BNK just like, we can fix that. Things can become over very, very quickly. Henna obviously going to be locking away the Zeri if it isn't banned away, and it wasn't, and so he's locking it.
What Aurora could do from Bulldog when it was 100 farm down. It's not 100 farm down.
No, he definitely is not. As the back is coming on in, Ward goes down and is known here as Dudu. He wasn't shopping. He was actually looking to set up a fight as the equalizer goes through as well. Dudu could be in trouble. He dashes over the wall. And Clear not going to be following him this time around. Cuz gets information and they do stop Dudu's back. That should mean that Grubs will go over here. As Bulldog not very high on the mana department as this ward does come on in. And Duro and Henna, they're moving down this mid lane. Should be able to guarantee BNK these Grubs.
I love making sure they rotate away where if something did happen towards the Grubs, they would be there. Now that they're posturing aggressively, the jungler isn't here.
Yeah, Duro is going to be able to grand exit. Going over to BNK despite the fact that they're the ones that managed to pick up the Grubs. The flash forward from Andil. He sees Raptor and he puts down the Crescent Guard. Bulldog puts him into a circle, but he's the one that built it first. The knockup's gorgeous. Cuz goes down and the Dragon is going to get distracted. Andil falls. It's a disaster. The Quantum Freaks are on the floor and BNK are on the board.
And normally, you get Grubs, they get Dragon. That's how it goes. That's the trade. But BNK Fearax are tired of trading. They're wanting to start up this Dragon, but Raptor is coming.
Yeah,
and he is strong.
Full vision available here as well. He might not make it in time. This Dragon is going down low, but Wind Becomes Lightning should be able to get him in here. There's the quickness, and he steals away the Dragon. The Heartbreaker comes in, but I think it's Quantum Freaks that are going to be heartbroken at the end of this one. It's another kill for Henna. Andil absolutely nowhere to go, as at least Leaper will escape, but that is now a Zeri on a killing spree. And this 3,000 gold in the lead. They took the 6 Grubs in the last game and they were behind the play, right? They had to make sacrifices in order to get that. True Shot Barrage not able to stop these backs.
And also both, I think it's so funny, both games so far.
That one is worthy As Quantum Freak's not going to give up. Good sidestep on the stun there from Duro, but he's just going to turn it into their own engage. Andal is going to come out from the brush though, and they do manage to possess him. Grand Entrance is decent as Cuz trying to get his way out. Raptor says, nah, buddy, you aren't going anywhere. As Bulldog is dancing around this circle, Dudu is teleported in, and he is gigantic. He's going to pick up two of them. And now Henner is just dashing for the hills. Raptor is still pretty huge. Bulldog not going to get hit by that equalizer. In fact, no one is at all. And this is jungler versus top lane, and Raptor kind of likes those odds. Clear is going to come in. He flashes to barbecue Dudu, and he's been silenced. That's going to give him that power as True Shot Barrage wanting to take down a control ward. But unfortunately not going to be able to save him from a bunch of harpoon damage as Raptor doesn't find the Wind Becomes Lightning, but Andal doesn't find the hook. There's the re-engage with the Audacious Charge. Great knockup does come on through as Dudu trying to do his best, but it just does not work. And remember, he has full magic resist. The magic damage is here in the bottom lane.
And he just gets shredded. You know, he's even picked up Negatron Cloak as well. He's full MR, and he's not the one laning against the Rumble. I feel like this lane assignment ends up being a big flub for the side of Quantum Freaks. They don't have the Aurora there, and they kind of just sit there, watch them take the Herald, and then get engaged on. Quantum Freaks crumbling in this game 3.
They are falling apart before our very eyes as BNK. They are going to be able to take down this top lane outer turret. Some possession here of Shelly, who saves her health bar because it goes down just in the nick of time.
Quantum Freaks are going towards Dragon. They're just they're losing. This might be, I mean, it's definitely 2 towers, but they might get a 3rd tower charge. On the back of this is pretty low. Maybe Dudu can stop it.
Yeah, Dudu should be able to deal with it here.
Still, and that gold's going not only to Raptor, but Closer as well in the Corki. Sure, you got an Ocean Dragon. It is a Hex, of course it is.
Oh god, yeah.
Of course it is. But it's not 2 dragons for...
Cuz could be in a lot of trouble here. Heartbreaks. There is a circle put down by Bulldog, but who is trapped in where with who? As Closer comes on over and Bulldog absolutely nowhere to go. No options. They are able to split off because they want to kill Cuz as well. There's the flash forward. The Grand Entrance. Raptor looking for the Wind Becomes Lightning. He'll have to settle for Andal as a teleport is coming through. Dudu is going to turn up. But look, Raptor is able to just stand here and say, no, you can't engage onto me. I will kill you. And Henner is now in this fight. Dudu just has to try and get himself away. And some more cooldowns are there now. Decent Q3 going to come out from Dudu. But once again, Raptor is immortal. The Wind Becomes Lightning comes in. Leaper is just going to be a secondary effect to the battle that was happening.
This feels like the most lore-accurate Xin Zhao we've ever seen. He stands there and says, welcome to the arena. He's ready to take anyone on. 5-0-6. Now with a 9,000 gold lead, this was a must-win series for BNK FearX. This game 3, they've come alive in it, but he's doing so much work.
Raptor is dead, everyone. Knocked up. There's even an equalizer there that's going to be put down. Henner picks up his 5th kill of the game. A circle does come on in. Henner is just trying to stand his ground. He survives for so long because it's going to go down before he can reset. Bulldog is, he's running. He's trying to go across the veil, but I think he's going to join Sirius Black here.
Well, I feel like the only positive side for Quantum Freaks is at least Baron isn't up yet.
At least the game isn't going to be going for much longer.
Both teams fighting tooth and nail. The pool is completely even. We saw it in game 1. We saw it against D+. This is what happens if you can't match them pound for pound.
Otherwise, BNK probably could have just taken it and won the game. Baron is going to spawn. Duro sort of just walking at them. And Raptor has a flank angle. The equalizer in the choke point is gorgeous as Bulldog is trying to bounce around, but Henner is just going to kill him. The job is for Bulldog to murder the AD carry, but instead, Bulldog is just going to be wiped out. Only Dudu left standing, and I think BNK are done with this game.
With 6 grubs, Baron's up, but they don't care. They're just going to try and end the game now. Dudu, the only one alive, he's going to do his best to try and survive. There's no way against 5 you can save the game.
Nope, he's going to try and waste as much time as possible, but that is all that's going to be. As Andal has respawned, this Nexus turret is not long for the world, though. The grubs come down. Remember, there are 6 of those. The Void Mites really helping out here. Another minion wave comes in, and the Nexus is the next thing on the menu. FearX, they're not wasting any time. They are going to take down Quantum Freaks and get one step closer.
These are the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup.
They are the only 3 teams that are so far successfully promoted towards the playoffs. As Rascal is standing on a ward, ladies and gentlemen.
He might end up just dying.
he could potentially be dead, but he's not dead right now, as Delight comes on over and says he is going to be dead. His flash is still up, but first blood goes to Zeka. They can sneak in there, can be an opportunity. This time it's going to be a teleport used, and now Delight and Viper still sticking around, might be able to capitalize. Only level 2 here for Rascal, who does look to try and get a kill back, and he will be successful. Doran has to flash to avoid dying. That's best possible scenario.
Not really in position to set that one up at all, so essentially just free grubs in this situation for HLE, which I'm sure they won't complain about.
Oh, precisely. And Peanut now moving up to 54 in comparison to the 36 of Sponge, what that did come in. It's going to make things difficult for Satab as this game goes on. Currently trying to stack that tier. Doesn't have a cull or anything like that. I think needed that Null Magic Mantle to stop from being in trouble.
So before, if you had 900 gold, you get pickaxe source 50s. It's now 1,000.
Yeah.
So maybe that was a difference maker.
Well, Doran is going to find a stun onto Sponge. Peanut with the cease and assist does come on through. Flash out, Arctic Assault with the flash after, and the ulti comes through from Rascal, unable to save the boar and the lady. And Vi is going to be able to pick that one up. Nice work there, Peanut, and he's on the board now as well.
Sponge playing a bit aggressive here. He gets found. I mean, Peanut doesn't have ult, but he's just picked up Sundered Sky, and
he just flashes on top of him and makes sure he stuns up the Sejuani. Sponge in so much trouble. Humble Life Esports, this was hectically decisive. Doran's going to pick it up with a shuriken, and they're going to go for 6 grubs on top of it.
Love the confidence from Zeka, second flash of the game. And the objectives is pretty devastating, and chances are this is going to be a pretty strong soul.
Yeah. Ocean, no, it's going to be Mountain. That would be fantastic if Sponge could get his hand on quite a few of those, but Leona as well would be unkillable. They can stack this one up. A lot of power in the Mountain just in general, and I actually think that I often talk about tanks when the Mountain is revealed, but it does so much for champions like Vi, as you're gonna have to hold that thought. Slicing Maelstrom does come in here as Rascal in a bit of trouble, was tanking up the turret for a bit, but they swap that over to Sponge.
Hells are down, right? And
yeah, Solar Flare is gonna have to get flashed.
a lot of flashes being burnt. Well, I mean, I say a lot too from DRX, but kind of just feels like Humble Life Esports constantly have that pressure. And when you're forcing summoners consistently, especially with a LeBlanc Vi, it's so dangerous. Satab, you might just end up dying here if you walk up a bit too far.
See that? Peanut going to be able to get a little bit of a charge here, as now Sponge could be in trouble. Ballbreaker comes in, stacking up the denting blows quite nicely, but Sponge able to get himself out of there, holds on to the flash. As Viper wanting to try and finish off this turret. Glacial Prison does come down. That auto attack not enough, but the next one is going to connect. The chains go all over the place, but they got what they were looking for here as Rascal misses everything. Oh, does manage to hit the Q onto Zeka as he throws down the ulti. Zeka gets over the wall. His clone not so lucky, but his clone doesn't matter.
Yeah, especially the invisibility.
Yep.
But it's still such a trade down for DRX. They lose mid tier 1, they're losing top tier 1.
Still in the fog of war. And Puddock trying to get himself into position, and we just need to see some patience from Doran right now in the banana brush, but he can move on over. There's the curtain call. That might be the time for Doran to come over as Pleta. He gets flashed over the top of the exhaust, still comes in, but Rascal's dead. Somehow Sponge dies to the lightning rat as well, but this was over before it even really started. Homer will also get themselves soul point.
Beautiful flash there from Darwin. You can see Pleta waiting for him, waiting to play Interruption when the cannon comes in, but the flash is perfect. As a result of the headbutt, Pleta's not in range to immediately exhaust, and the damage is already done.
As quickly as possible, and there it is. 2-item spike now done.
Pleta and Sponge set up a little trap and might have walked into one themselves.
Oh, the arrow is going to connect onto Satab. The dash forward from Zeka, he'll connect the chains, but it is broken immediately by the Valkyrie. Great pulverize is going to come through as Zeka trying to get out of there. Sponge looking to chase him down, and now Rascal flashes in. He finds the Q, puts Peanut in a circle. And Peanut just able to get himself out of there with a Vault Breaker. The curtains are being called. Peanut trying to get into the right position. Cease and assist comes down. Somehow he avoids the curtain calls, and Solar Flare is going to come in. Peanut finally goes down, and Doran is going to be denied here as the inner turret is going to fall. Viper still alive though, trying to keep them interested. And Viper's auto's really starting to hurt. But that was a big one for DRX. Oh, Satab going in. Don't know about that one. As Sponge, he's pretty low, as is Puddock. And Humble, they're still looking for this, still trying to find the angle. A teleport is respawning in 1 second's time. Doran goes boom, but if they bought the time for a triple kill for Zeka, that's the question. As they dash in, Viper's looking for more. They didn't need the LeBlanc. Viper just cleans him up.
Triple kill for Viper. Pretty quiet game from him up until this point. That fight and just able to get the damage down at the end. And now it's 25 seconds till that next dragon. A lot of summoners expended on the side of DRX. You know, their entire top side without flashes.
Doran has the ability to get behind the enemy team on cannon. That's sort of where we're standing right now. There's the teleport in, pretty obvious one. And he has turned up, he's on vision, but now the curtain call! Oh, that was the wrong timing as Satab's just gonna blow up like a balloon. Doran's in trouble now as the knockups are decent. As Zeka's still just toying with them. Sponge on the wrong side of the fight, and Viper will not let him get away. As DRX with only 3 members left alive and no way of getting towards his Dragon Pit.
You'd always see them struggling to finish off targets, and now it just becomes almost impossible.
Oh man, I want to see Viper build a Terminus after this. I feel like he'll just be an actual tank. As this Ashe
going Bloodthirst, the 80 carries. You have a Aurora, who's also a Bursty champion.
Doran is going to press his R button. Arrow connects onto Rascal, and the rest of Hanwha are moving up. Zeka just says goodnight to Rascal, and the cease and desist letter is sent towards Satab. He's trying to Valkyrie his way out. Pleta, he has an unbreakable will, but he doesn't have an unbreakable Nexus, I don't think. Not in this game, as Sponge is going to get corralled towards his. Puddock also gets towards the inner turret, but he's not helping. Not any way whatsoever. And I think this could be a Baron or whatever else Humble Life Esports decides they want to take. Yeah. It's not going to last very long as Kraken Slayer, Bloodthirster, and Phantom Dancer all completed here for Viper. He is very, very fed. A better Jhin.
Yeah, at this point.
Oh, goodness. It's not great. Jhin from behind feels pretty terrible, to be perfectly honest. Not quite as bad as the lethality variety, but now Sponge looking for an option. And the cannon lasted a lot longer than I expected there, but still it's a really nice pickoff from DRX. They're now trying to push further forward. The Solar Flare comes down. Rascal's in trouble. Cease and Desist comes in, and Viper just happily shooting everyone. Somehow he lives. That is Mountain Soul difference, baby. Even after the flash forward, he walks his way towards the enemy base.
He's just
captive audience,
man. Oh, the chip jump.
He's still got the shield back. It's fine.
Okay, he's good. He's good.
It was almost really exciting and interesting, and then it was not.
He is just the tankiest Ashe we have seen.
Yeah, 6-0-13. 19 out of 22 kills he's been a part of.
He could have died there, and they would have still won the game.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't.
He is not going to let that go onto his record. That is a perfect game for Viper. Yeah, or I think it's LeBlanc top, personally.
Are they going to swap last second?
That's what I'm kind of feeling, but it could be an equalizer off.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they want to avoid the Corki Lucian matchups. They're like, that's why they're swapping this way.
Yeah. Who is Peanut, who is now in the enemy jungle, making friends with that. There is a Lee Sin that is coming on over to see what Zeka's doing, but Zeka can move on towards his teammate. There's the dash in, and he just gets first blood. Sponge might be able to kill Zeka here, and he will, but that's first blood and an assist going over to Humble down as well. Root Caller comes in, and there is no arrow available from Viper. The Light not really the target that they want to go for, as the Eclipse is now down. And it looks like after no grubs have actually been taken yet, and Humble Life Esports do take hold of the area, and an equalizer is up and available. First grub goes over to Peanut. Now the equalizer is going to stop the retreat from DRX, as Viper does need to use the cleanse, but Pleta is just dead, and they're utilizing these brushes so beautifully. The Flame Spitter, oh god, the culling, and Rascal has to flash away. Still, Satab goes in, gets a lot of damage, but he doesn't quite have enough. Deadly Flourish comes down, Q connects from Sponge, and he isn't going to be able to stay there to lock that one down. Only one grub goes to Humble Life Esports, and a couple picked up here by DRX. Okay, Rascal. He's going to get flashed on here by Delight, and Rascal now moving the wrong direction and will just be destroyed. There he goes. Well, Doran picks up that kill.
That's kind of cheating because it wasn't a 1v1. So much in this fight. Zones Viper completely, we weren't going to see more.
In the meantime, you've got Satab connecting a Sigil of Malice here. He's now taking the tree for a walk, and I don't think the Trigger Seed's going to be enough there. That is a kill going over to Satab and DRX. This is going better than game one. Things we just don't really know what they're doing when they're just having conversations with each other, not moving. As Daisy is now going to get involved in this team fight. Arrow going to connect. Pulverize is onto the Jhin as Puddock. He does have the barrier, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough to save him here as Viper has everything stacked up. Sponge trying to get in there, and the deadly flourish comes down, but it's avoided by Viper. Trigger Seed comes in. The kick is good, but not good enough. And HumLife Esports going to win the fight.
Yeah, really solid engage there. The arrow from Viper is good. Oh.
Okay, the Dragon going to get mad.
Hit.
Honeyfruit, 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 Honeyfruit.
Yeah, and you're okay.
Yeah, there from HumLife as first streak looking to be claimed here by Sponge very comfortably. HumLife Esports just not willing to risk it. They do have a 1,000 gold lead. It's going to be mitigated, I think, by a few of these stats coming in.
Sadly.
Not enough, and Puddock not going to be there with too much more there as well, as 4 grubs go over to HumLife Esports as we come out of the replay. Daisy! Oh no! It's going to be the unbreakable will of Delight though, and the equalizer goes down more like giving a carpet.
The Corki feels like a weird addition. I guess. I feel like in a 5v5 I have a lot more faith in HumLife Esports, but it really comes down to execution, of course, so we'll see what they can do. That's an Alistair.
That is an Alistair. There is a Zeka here as well, as Headbutt is going to pull Delight over. That is Peanut's friend. Please do not hurt that blue buff. As Doran is over here, and he wants to get a little bit of help from Shelly to take down this outer turret. And it looks like HumLife Esports just don't really care about this Dragon that will be taken here by Sponge. Next one going to be a Chemtech Soul. Oh, sorry, that's on me, because I told you not to worry about it. It's going to be a Cloud Drake, and then let your guard down.
And that's so rough for DRX.
Yeah.
They have 2 dragons in the bag, and then it's Chemtech.
Connect, but not really consequential. So outer turret will be falling down here, thanks to, in part, the 4 grubs that HumLife Esports have put together. And Rascal is going to do his best to try and answer on the top side of the map. So 2 turrets to 1 will be the trade towards the end. Zeka is once again moving in. There's the dash out. Culling gets the flash. Good arrow position there from Viper. But once again, the passive is going to get proc from Satap. It's going to be harder and harder for him to distort his way in. And this is inner turret falling down at 19.5 minutes. That's a pretty fast pace.
Carries and Ivan shields keep everyone healthy. Could just Baron if you commit too heavily bot side.
Yeah, and they have so much vision in this area as well. Aiken, as Zeka gets himself a blue buff for the team, and the curtains have been called. Arrow's going to sail in, and it connects. The equalizer's down as well. Drake will be secured by DRX, but Daisy gets the 3-man knock-up. Look at those mechanics from the NPC. You love to see it. As Sponge will be taken down there as well. Puddock at 100 health. Not going to be sticking around for any fight, and it's the jungler that dies.
This Baron is gone.
Yeah. HumLife, I don't think they're even too worried about Soul Point going on over to DRX. This outer turret could be a little bit of a problem if DRX are able to get back into the game, but I have a feeling that the shutout starts now as the Baron comes in. State of top lane Corki has stayed the same.
I'm not sold on it yet, but, you know, I'm not sure how much of that is down to the pick.
Yeah.
How much of it is
I'm
down
not
to the
going to
player.
blame the Corki for this one, as that is a big old teleport flank.
Right? I mean...
Well, curtains are being called here as Delight tanks up the first one. Daisy eats a chain. There's the pulverize onto Pleta. And Viper is just raining the autos in. Did they take damage? The answer is no, because Redemption exists. Satap down to 50%, and this inhibitor turret is just more than destroyed.
Rascal, I think he's given up on the base race. It was so close.
Yeah, no, it was
far.
It was close. He's going to be into this fight, but the inhibitor's dead.
That was DRX.
What did we say about being honest?
I should stop doing it.
Yeah, not what it's about. The arrow is going to sail through Daisy.
Oh!
Connects onto the Jhin. Oh no! Again, Puddock is just not allowed to play the game. I'm imagining it here. His name is Psyduck in Korean, guys. And he just went, and he died. That's what happened.
That is pretty much what happened, you know.
It's feeling like it as Daisy dashes forward. Massive pulverize. Special delivery, but Sponge is able to at least get a cute little kickback. The wallets are too heavy, though. There is nothing that's going to stop HumLife Esports from taking down this inhibitor. And they may just win the game right here. Baron or no, they are ready to go home. And Daisy getting to work on the first Nexus turret. Curtain's getting cold here as Peanut relatively low. Doran will be executed, but now not a lot left in the tank, and Viper is raining hell down upon them. Rascal, 50% health in the tank for him. And Hanwha, I think, might call it here. Going down is so incredibly punishing when you've got a Baron on the mine.
This game is pretty doomed though, but I do have a fun fact.
Oh, Daisy! She just ganked the jungler!
Daisy's just the goat.
Daisy is so good at this game, man! By the way, that was absolutely fantastic because Rascal's playing PvE. He is raiding while the rest of his team is doing arena right now. And hopefully he gets some good loot as the arrow is going to get distorted. And Zeka is going to throw down the culling. Another distortion does come on through there, as you can mimic that one. Rascal comes back, might actually be able to take an inhibitor turret here against the flow of play, but the minions are going to disappear. And HummLife Esports may win the game, which is something worth considering.
Yeah, but Rascal, this is your time to base race, you know? Oh no,
True.
Gave up on it.
Well, he's going to turn up to watch his base get partially destroyed here as the last inhibitor is going to be taken. The bottom one has respawned. And, you know, the Baron was sort of taken as an afterthought. You didn't even really notice when that one went down, but I think it was just after Sponge died. As we're going to check out Satap going in, trying to kill Zeka. It's not going to work because look at those heals. And the shielding that is coming on through here. First Nexus turret does go down. The next one is not exactly healthy. And there's a massive pulverize once again from Delight. Give this guy any engaged support and he's going to look like an absolute god. As Viper raining these autos down, Puddock is going to be forced onto the fountain. And Viper can't go against a fountain laser, as it turns out. And the Nexus now exposed. HummLife Esports distracted by this Corki that is trying to run back and take down the inhibitor turret that he'd gotten to work on. And HummLife Esports will take the 2-0 very comfortably.
These were some of the best highlights from today's 2024 LCK Summer Split matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.